I want to talk about love. It has been on my heart, and it is all about the mission of Your Unity.
I use the word unity is embracing where you are about and the community around you.
And so my point of departure is always stems from my faith.
Whatever's going to happen, God's people are going to be all right. And I want us to pause and just reflect on that one thing, that word love. It's 4 letters, such a short word, but it means so much.
And that energy naturally exudes,
Yes.
and people are attracted to those things.
It's just another moment for creative thought, and I think that has to be put out there for people to understand.
We can't control the whole world, but we can control ourselves. If each of us chooses love and unity in our own lives, the ripple effect can heal communities, cities, and nations. Welcome, everyone, to Our Unity, a show that wishes the spread of spirit of peace and love in the world, one conversation at a time. We want to encourage you to live in love, faith, and gratitude. It is so important when we're trying to fulfill ourselves and be at peace and to warm our hearts and to make sure that we are loving on everyone around us and that we're living complete, passionate, and purposeful lives, that we are walking in love, walking by faith, and living with gratitude. I am your host, LaShawn Walker. I'd like to welcome you in. Please like, share, and follow. Let everyone know that we're on right now. I am so serious. You need to tag a friend. You need to call a friend. You need to let everyone know that we're on. Please follow us on Facebook at Our Unity. You can also follow us on Instagram. And now, honestly, I'm getting a little bit into TikTok. So if you want to follow me on TikTok and LinkedIn, please do so at Our Unity. How are you guys? It is so great to see you. I hope that you had a wonderful week since I saw you. I hope that you're enjoying just waking up this morning. I was literally saying that today. I was like, I am so grateful that I was able to open my eyes this morning. So I hope that you guys are feeling the same way. You're feeling blessed and you're feeling just happy that you have another breath in your body, enabling you to do whatever you need to do to fulfill whatever task you have before you, and actually to get out there and love and walk in faith and just be gracious for every blessing that you have in your life. I just want to get an amen to that, because I'm telling you, we are not promised tomorrow. We're not even promised today. So please, I hope that you guys are just having a beautiful day. I hope you look good and feel good. I'm actually getting there. You know, I've been going through a few things this year, and it's definitely a process. I will say it's a step-by-step chore. I'm doing it, and I'm actually, you know, enjoying the path that I'm on. I really am. And even though, you know, there's things pressed against me and my heart feels a little tender, it really, really does. It feels tender. But I'm just taking it one step at a time, and I'm just seriously just living in love and walking by faith and just being gracious for everything that I have in my life, every single blessing and every single moment that I have here on this earth. And I want you guys to do the same. So we're in a new month. I know they flying by like crazy. Pretty soon we're going to be in the winter, but I hope that you are also enjoying the newness of this month, what it will bring, what you will accomplish, what you will enjoy, where you're going to go, and who you're going to see. I have kicked the month off pretty nicely. I will admit, I had a beautiful, service yesterday at church. I was able to attend with my mom and my daughter. It was beautiful. It's the first time my mother has actually been, to my church. church, and my pastor gave a word yesterday about transformation, and it was all about you growing in the Word of God. It was all about you growing in who you are. It was all about living out your purpose and your passion, walking in the authority that God has given you, and it was beautiful. And she actually also had a word to my mother about living. You know, my mom and as well as myself has experienced such great loss in our life. And you know, sometimes you get caught up in life and you get down into this deep depression, you isolate yourself from the world, and you just don't want to do anything but just breathe and just do what you have to do. So my mother wasn't really living for a very long time. But my pastor shared with her that it's time for her to live. God has kept her here for this many years and many more years to come for a reason. And she needs to start enjoying them. She needs to start basking in them. And she needs to start just walking into the will in which you've already predestined for her life. So I saw a shift in her. I really did. And I'm hoping that she uses those words that my pastor spoke over her. I hope she uses them to forge forward and to make sure that for the rest of her life and the beautiful life that she has here still now, that she lives it with happiness and joy and with purpose and with passion. That's what we all need to be doing. So I know you are wondering why I have on a Minnie Mouse t-shirt. And, you know, I just felt like, you know, we're in the summertime. It's time to dress down a little bit. We don't have to be all stuffy and dressed up every time I'm here on the show. But really today, there's a specific reason why I am wearing this shirt. Today is my best friend who has passed away, Tawana Reed's birthday, August 4th. Oh my God. Tawana, happy heavenly birthday. I miss you so very much. She was a Betty Boop fan. This woman had everything Betty Boop, and I was Minnie Mouse. And basically, we shared everything together. This amazing woman I met probably when I was like 18 or 19 years old. She was from the Boogie Down Bronx. Tawana and I grew up totally differently. She was from the projects. I was from Queens. And we still were able to connect in some form or some fashion. And I really think it was just our love for one another, who we were, what we had to offer, what we had to share. I learned so much from this woman about how to be tough and how to be street smart and how to just stand up for yourself. And I think what she learned from me is how to be soft and how to be loving and how to not just take things so seriously. We had a long, loving relationship until her passing. And I still feel very connected to her spiritually. I miss her so much. She left an amazing daughter here, Raquel, my goddaughter, who I still speak to and pour into as much as I possibly can, share stories about her mom and the relationship that we had, but who Tawana was at the core. Tawana was a person that literally just wanted to just have everything that God wanted her to have. She wanted to have it without distraction. She wanted to have it without opposition. She wanted to have it, honestly, without struggle. And I think a lot of her life was about struggle. So meeting me, this carefree girl from Queens who didn't let nothing get her down, it was always smiling and always a bundle of sunshine. I think that's what attracted her to me. It wasn't the normal that she was used to living around. And so I was so happy to be a part of her life and to become the sister that I did to her and her to become the sister that she was to me. And again, like I told you, she shared so much with me. I started hanging out in the Bronx. I didn't know nothing about the Bronx. I didn't know nothing about the projects, but I honestly loved it. I loved the community. I loved the camaraderie. I love that people stood up for each other. That's exactly what they did. Whether it was right or wrong, whether they liked you or not, they all stood together as a community. And that's what I learned from hanging out with my friend. And that was honestly from strangers to also family members. Now, trust me, everybody had their issues. We had the fights and the arguments, and there was people that didn't like each other and things of that nature. We wasn't trying to kill each other. We was trying to resolve issues the best way that we possibly could. And regardless of how we felt about you that day, didn't linger into the next day or the next month, because sometimes it did linger into the next day, but it didn't linger for too long. It didn't last so long that you didn't realize how important those people actually were in your life. So I want to put up that picture one more time, and I want to say, happy birthday to ya. Happy birthday to ya. My beautiful, beautiful friend Tawana Reed, happy heavenly birthday to you. So, if you guys are having a birthday this month, I also wish you a happy birthday. I know we was in Cancer season. Everybody I know is a Cancer and celebrating all last month. And now I believe we're into Leo. So yeah, I think that is, going to be another beautiful season of beautiful people celebrating. I'm not all into the astrology. I just know that you're born under a certain sign and that's it. So please don't text, comment, say anything about I'm into astrology, because I'm really not. But anyway, so I wanted to share with you today what I actually shared with you about 2 weeks ago. I started a year, the Your Our Unity year of love, faith, and gratitude. Now, I know a lot of people are living really, really happy and joyful lives, but there are also people out there that are hurting and struggling and going through something. There are people out there that are feeling challenged with just life. As you know, I've been dealing with a lot of loss lately, and I don't know how I'm able to continue to barrel through, because the old LaShawn would be in the rabbit hole right now. The old LaShawn would be in the bed somewhere, sleeping until 9, 10 o'clock at night, not wanting to face the day. But the new LaShawn realizes that in order for her to be whole, in order for her to live the life that God honestly intended for her, regardless of the trials, the tribulations, the struggles, the pain, the sadness, that I had to wake up and move forward. And that's what I have been doing. And again, I'm not going to say that it's easy, but it is something that I'm feeling determined to do. And I think that all of you out there that are going through something, that's what you should also commit to doing, is moving forward. We can't stay stuck in our sadness for long. We can't allow the world to hinder us from our life. And we cannot allow the sadness and the sorrow to erase, remove, or to deplenish the joy that ultimately can be found if we rise in the morning. I said earlier that, I was so happy that I woke up this morning. I opened my eyes. I have breath in my body. And why? Because I feel like it gives me a new opportunity for me to praise God, first and foremost, but for me to walk in what He actually has for me. It gives me another opportunity for me to make a difference. It gives me another opportunity for me to live the life that He intended. And we're all going to go through something. We're all going to be challenged with something. But we also all have a purpose within inside of us. We all have a calling. We all have a gift. And we need to start sharing it. We need to start living it, no matter what our circumstances are. So as I mentioned, last month I began the Your Our Unity, a year of love, faith, and gratitude. I want to tell you about that journey. And I also want to share with you why you need to join me on this journey. Come on this journey with me. It is so important that we fill ourselves with things that are going to bring happiness and joy to our lives. It is so important that we move with expectation and intention. But more importantly, it is important that when we wake up our eyes in the morning, when we get out of that bed in the morning, that we are looking forward to something greater. So the title of the show today is A Year of Love, Faith, and Gratitude, Living in Purpose and Victory. Because honestly, the victory is ours. regardless of what we've been through, regardless of what's happening in our lives, regardless of what's even going on in the world, because I know you people are tired of seeing the news and just being anxiety stricken and stressed out about just all of the misery that is happening around us, things that are not personally affecting us, but is also affecting our psyche, our mental, our emotional well-being. Those things can also challenge the joy that we need in our hearts. So speaking about what this journey is, I feel that what it will help you do is replenish that life that God already predestined for you, that happiness that he wishes you to walk in every day. It would also fulfill you, because that's what I'm finding. When I'm speaking or posting or talking to people about this journey and this challenge, because honestly, it's a challenge. It brings joy to me that I'm trying to put forth an effort to do something that's going to make me a better person. Because that's ultimately what the idea is for through this challenge, through this journey, that you will become a better person. You will realize that whatever you're going through in your life, you will realize whatever is happening around you, you will realize that no matter what someone else is doing, it doesn't matter. As long as you're putting your best foot forward in order to bring some type of happiness and joy to your life, regardless of all that is actually taking place. And that's what we're going to learn to do during this year. So I want you guys to join me on this challenge, but I first want to explain what it actually is. So each month, what I'm going to do is post something different about the word love, post something different about faith, post something different about gratitude. And that's going to go on for the rest of the year, because there's so many things that we can learn about what the word love actually means and how it actually resonates and identifies with our daily life and our living and the people around us. And the same goes for faith and gratitude. All of those things, if you really delve deep into it, has so many different meanings. It's not just I have faith. It's not just I love you. It's not just, I'm grateful. There is layers to it. So that's what I wanted to share with you today. I don't want to tarry too long on too many other things, and I also don't want to get off track, because I have the ability to do that. LaShawn is all over the place sometimes, but I do want what I have to share make sense to you, so that you are encouraged and you are inspired, and more importantly, that you are just fired up, I guess is the word, feeling passionately about joining this journey with me. So the first thing we're going to talk about today is love. So exciting and new. Love, as the Testament said, the scripture says, a new commandment I give to you, that you love one another as I have loved you, that you also love one another. By this all will know that you are my disciples, if you have love for one another. Now, I'm a very spiritual person. I read the Bible. I'm all about scripture. I'm all about the word of God. God is love. So that's what we should be walking in every single day. Love is more than just a feeling. It is honestly a choice. You have a choice to love someone or to hate someone, or to be unkind to someone, or to not like someone, or not to show any compassion to someone. You have that choice. But if God already put love into you, and God already breathed that breath of air of love into your body, then why can't you walk in it every single day, regardless of what's going on around you? Now, I know it can be hard. There's some crazy people out there. There's some family members that get on our nerves. There's some co-workers that drive us crazy. It's some mates, husbands and wives that just drive us up the wall. And regardless of all those things that they do to us, it shouldn't stop us from actually doing the one thing that God asked us all to do, which is love one another. I think that it is important that we do so that we can feel fulfilled, so that we can feel nurtured inside, so that we could feel that joy that I know that he wanted us to feel with that love that he's given us. I know that you also know that if we didn't have love in our hearts, that we will be just cantankerous people, mad and angry and mean all the time. And I know that you guys out there don't want to live that way. I know I don't want to live that way. There was a time in my life that I was walking around with a chip on my shoulder. I'm not going to lie. Everything and all things that could go wrong in my life was going wrong. And what I was doing was taking it out on everybody else instead of realizing that regardless of what's happening to me, I should still be walking in love. Now, my question to you is, what if changing the world didn't begin with changing everyone else, but with changing how we love? I think that is an important question to ask ourselves, because if we change the way we love, then maybe this world would be a much better place. You know, Your Unity was built on that premise. It was built on the fact that I feel that if we loved one another better, or even started to love one another at all, that unity could be had. And why? Because love includes compassion. Love includes kindness. Love includes grace and forgiveness. And those things, if we walk in them, it will cause our hearts to be overflowing with just gratefulness for those people that we're extending those things to. That we have the ability to show that we have the ability to walk in that. I think more importantly that we have the ability to give it because God gave it to us first. We would be a much better people. Unity would be had. People would be understanding, giving each other grace, forgiving people for their shortcomings, even forgiving yourself for your shortcomings, and able to walk in that love with foundational intention and with passion. Knowing that it's nothing going to interrupt that flow that comes from God into you, that allows you to be kind and generous and forgiving and merciful with those in your world, whether you know them personally or not. We know that love is not just romance. It's not just your man and a woman loving each other. Love is not just simply saying, I love you. It is actually demonstrated through actions. It's by how you walk, how you talk, how you speak, how you act around people. It's when you don't agree with someone. You don't understand where they're coming from. You don't even want to hear what they got to say. But regardless of that fact, you still love them for who they are. The fact that they're children of God. They probably have, your best interest at heart and probably just don't agree with you. And that's fine. That is okay. You can still move in that love. You could still be understanding to that person. You could still show some type of kindness and still not agree with them. That's what love is about. It is that action. It is that feeling that regardless of what you say, do, or think, that I will always have a care for you. We are human. We are not perfect. And on top of that, we all don't deserve to have what we believe or think that we're supposed to have. There's things in our lives that God is trying to remove from us. There's things in our lives that God is also trying to show us. And sometimes what you think you deserve and what you're supposed to have and where you're supposed to be in life is not exactly what his plan was for you. So if you see someone, trying to take you off your game or, take you out of your element or challenging your spirit or in certain situations taking that job or taking your man or taking something away from you that you so rightly think you deserve, sometimes God is trying to tell you, I love you, and you don't. You don't need it. You're not supposed to have it. And why? Because I have so much more in store for you. So that's also how we move in love as well. That we let people know that regardless of what you see in front of you, there's so much more that I have to offer you. If you show me that same respect, that same kindness, that same compassion, that same understanding, that's only going to make my love for you grow. It's only going to make the way I treat you better. That's how we should be thinking about how we treat the world. And I think once we do that, somehow peace and unity, it will be achieved. It really, truly, truly, truly will. Now, we have to discuss, how love changes. Over time, obviously, you say, if we're going to talk about romance and relationships, you go through little hiccups in your marriage and in relationships with your significant other. And, you lose a certain amount of love for them, or you think you're losing the love for them because of the way they treated you or the things they've done to you or how they just don't show up for you. I think that regardless of what that looks like to you, that you should not stop loving them anyway. It is so important that you figure out a way to rebuild the love, the foundational love that relationship was built on in the first place. And if we all dig deeper, if we all try harder, and if we all sit a little quieter with ourselves, we'll be able to find that. And that also extends to our families. We have family members that drive us crazy. We have family members we don't care for. We have family members that truly we wish were family members, to be honest with you, at times. But we should still extend some type of grace and forgiveness to them for whatever they've done to you. Remember that God created them, and they're just as imperfect as you are. So give them a chance to figure out who they are. Extend that love from within you to show them what it actually looks like, so that they can realize that they weren't walking in that love in the first place. And maybe it'll remind them what that love actually feels like. And maybe they'll want to try to go on this loving you the way you deserve to be loved journey. I think it's important that, even in our communities, when we're dealing with people who don't look like us, people that don't come from the same background as we came from, where they come from, and that we don't challenge them or doubt, their intentions or their motives, that we don't question who they are and what their integrity is, that we believe first that they're walking in that same love that you have inside of you. And if you don't see it, then you can separate yourself from it, but don't stop loving them anyway. Still show them what love looks like. Again, as I said earlier, by the way that you move, by the way that you talk, and by the way that you think. And I am sure it's going to be a ripple effect, that others are going to want to love just as deeply as they see you doing, even when you don't agree with half of the things you see. We're all different. God created us differently for a reason, but it doesn't mean that the love inside of us is any different, because our skin color is different, because our religion is different, because our area code or zip code is different, because of the town, state, or community that we live in is different. It doesn't mean that the love that we have inside of us is different. So let's give people a chance to actually show that love, and then you walk in that love with them, so that you can make that bond of love that you've grown to experience with that person, that community, that family member, even deeper. And that goes down to the workplaces as well. You have, your coworkers that you work with that, drive you crazy and try to test your integrity and try to take your job or whatever the case may be. Those people also, we need to treat them with a little bit of love. They know not what they do. It says it's in the Bible. Sometimes people just don't understand how to treat people because they were never taught to do so themselves. I want you to also think about something. Some people don't even know how to love because they weren't taught how to love themselves. So how about you be the example? That love that God so graciously gave to you, how about you give it to someone openly, honestly, and unconditionally? That's really what matters, is that we give it unconditionally so that people can see that no matter what the situation is, no matter what the circumstances are, that you still are walking with love in your heart, that forgiveness, that grace, that compassion, that kindness, all of those things that are going to not only make you a better person, but eventually will make the world a better person, a better place, because of the fact that you extended that love to all those around you. Your friends, your family, co-workers, strangers. Last month, what I was sharing is that you also have to love yourself. You can't give that love until you know how to actually love from within first. And if you was to just allow God's love to download into you deeply, then you would understand what that actually looks like when you're looking at yourself from the outside in. So please make sure that you're taking care of yourself. Please make sure that you're loving on yourself. Please make sure that you're giving yourself also that same grace, compassion, and kindness. Look at yourself in the mirror every single day and say that you're amazing, you are wonderful, you are phenomenal, you are the bee's knees. I know y'all probably saying, where'd she get that from? Where's bee's knees come from? But I'm just saying, you make sure that you tell yourself that every single day, because that to me will ground that love within you. That to me would harness the love from around you and allow you to then radiate it to the outside world, because you first loved yourself like God first loved us. Now I want to ask you, when was the last time someone made you feel, even yourself, when was the last time you made yourself feel seen simply because you showed yourself some love or you showed someone else love? Ask yourself that question. Try to figure it out and tell yourself, if I was someone else and I was walking in their shoes, how would I want them to love me? How would I want them to see me as love towards them? And then what you need to do is to do those very things that you thought of, those very things that you were able to see in your mind's eye, in your spiritual eye, about what love actually looks like. That's what I would honestly do. So my challenge to you is explain the purpose behind the love month to yourself in loving others, loving yourself, loving God, and more importantly, loving difficult people in your lives. That to me will ground that love so deeply that you'll have a foundation of what love is and that you'll be moving in it every single day. So let's remember that love isn't about how people deserve to be treated. Love is about who you choose to become in it. And that's what I think we all need to do. So I hope you love that little conversation on love. You know, I'm always telling you guys, I love you, because I truly do. I love everything about you. And no matter what you do, what you say, or how you think, I'm still going to love you, because I love people with the love of the Lord. So now, we're going to talk about faith. Now, I've been going through it the last couple of months, and actually for a while. I want to share scripture on faith. Now, faith is the substance of things hoped for, the evidence of things not seen. Faith sometimes can be hard because we like to control everything. And as I said, I've been going through it for a moment. And I started to question, is God really seeing me right now? Why is he putting me through all of these things? What is happening? Why do I feel so sad and sorrowful and depressed all the time because of what is happening outside? Not believing that anything that he has for me is actually going to come into fruition because of all the other stuff that's happening around me. The trials, the tribulations, the sorrows, the sadness, the deaths, the just life, the world just breaking apart right in front of my eyes, the hate that's going on, the division, all of those things. I'm like, how do we continue to have hope and faith in the midst of all that when I feel that those things are being highlighted even more? I had to start asking myself, what would I rather have, faith or control? And I realized that control is fleeting. You're going to lose control sooner or later. Trying to control everything, you're going to lose that grip, and you're going to either lose your mind or you're going to die in it. And I refuse to do that. So even in the midst of all the crazy I've been going through and everything that's happening in the world and all the sadness and all that other stuff, I still chose to have faith. If you ever found yourself have you ever found yourself asking God, why is this happening to me? I've done it on more than one occasion, but I always go back to, it's not happening to me. I really truly believe it's happening for me. So I got a question. What is faith? Faith isn't pretending everything is okay, because it's not going to be okay all the time. Life has got to happen. Things are going to happen. The devil's always at play. The devil is always trying to take you off your game. But also, God also has things in store for you. And he also doesn't want you to think that you're in control of everything and everything that you put in your mind is actually what's going to happen. Sometimes he wants you to see that he has something greater for you. So regardless of what you wanted, he wants something better for you. So faith isn't just pretending that everything is going to be okay and you're going to have everything you want and things are going to unravel in life the way that you planned it, because it's not. Faith isn't ignoring reality. Sometimes people do that as well. They believe that, oh yeah, I see what's going on and I see what's happening. I heard it. I know it. But, it ain't going to happen to me. That's not my situation. That's not my path. That's not my journey. But that's not true sometimes. Regardless of all that stuff that you think that you do see that it's not going to happen to you, maybe it will. But what are you going to do to press forward and to believe that something greater is on the other side of it? Faith is believing that even when life doesn't make sense, and honestly, it does not make sense to me sometimes right now, that God is still working and he's still working everything out for your good. That he still has bigger plans for your life than you can ever imagine. Faith looks like taking the next step without knowing the entire path. That's where I'm at right now. With everything that I've been going through in the past few months, I'm still taking a step. I told you I wake up every morning with expectation now. Before, I would have been sad, I would have been depressed, I would have been all these things, but I am actually walking with hope now, believing that regardless, the next step is going to be better and greater than my last. Faith is believing in yourself when no one else does. And that's what we need to do as well. We don't need the whole world co-signing our beliefs, what we think, what should we do, what's going to happen. You don't need those things in your ear. You just need the voice of God to share and show you exactly what faith looks like, by what you believe, by what he's showing you, and not by what people are telling you. Not asking for advice or guidance from people that don't know or understand your circumstances and how God is going to play them out for you. Faith is continuing even after the disappointment. If it didn't work out the way you intended, the way you prayed, it doesn't matter. You still need to continue in it. Because again, there is something that you're supposed to receive that you still didn't get in that moment. And God is trying to work it out for you. You just have to stay the course and believe that he's working everything out for your good. It's about trusting God's timing. And our time is not his time. His years are not our years. His minute and second is not our minute and second. And so therefore, though we're going through it, he has already completed it on the other side. And what we have to do is just go through it and believe that it's all going to work out. Believe that regardless of what it looks like, it's going to be better. It's going to be greater. It's going to be miraculous. It's going to be exactly what you intended, but better. That is what that is. Waiting on God's timing and not our own. And it's also choosing hope instead of fear. Sometimes we have a problem with that as well. We don't want to hope because we see the circumstances in front of us seem so insurmountable that we're not going to be able to get over that hurdle, that we're not going to be able to get past the pain, that we're not going to be able to make that next step, that we're not going to be able to actually move forward because of what we're going through. And God is trying to tell you to stop being fearful and be fearless, because he's working on your behalf. And if God is for you, I mean, who could be against you? So don't walk in fear. Don't doubt yourself. Don't doubt the move. Don't doubt the journey. Don't doubt the path, because trust and believe there's something on the other side that is bigger than you even could ever imagine. But you just have to have faith. Faith gives us strength during grief, which is what I'm receiving right now. Faith through the grief, the strength through the grief that I've been experiencing. I'm receiving comfort and healing, not only through this challenge of a year of love, faith, and gratitude, but also in believing that God has something planned for me that I just don't see yet, nor do I understand. But I believe in him so much that I believe that it's going to work out for my good. Faith gives us peace in uncertainty. And that's also something I'm going through right now. I don't know what's going to happen tomorrow. I don't know the next person is going to pass away. I don't know the next challenge I'm going to have to face. But I believe in my heart, with the peace that I have, that it's going to be okay. I'm able to have that sigh of relief, because regardless of that challenge, I'm going to be okay. And so are you if you walk by faith. Faith gives you courage during change. We all going to go through certain changes in our lives. Job changes, relationship changes, money changes, just changes in every situation. But we have to believe that regardless of what that change looked like, we have the courage to keep barreling through, to keep believing that there is a new journey before us that we need to take in order for that change to look like it was destined for our lives, that we were supposed to go through it to make us a better people, to make us a better person, to make us a better family, to make us a better community, to make us a better world. Things are going to forever change, but those changes are to grow you, to edify you, to instill in you that regardless of what that change looks like, that you are already prepared for it, that you're already going to flourish in it, that you're already going to have the faith and the belief that it's going to be the change that you needed in your life to become the person that God predestined for your life. And faith also gives us hope during difficult seasons. And that's what I'm experiencing also right now. Hope during the difficult season. I hope and believe that God is going to work everything out as he planned for me, and I have to be okay with it. Let his will be done. It's not going to change who I am. It's not going to stop me from growing. It's not going to stop me from loving. And it's not going to stop me from believing that everything that he put me through has a reason. And I'm just going to sit in that hope through that difficult season to remember that that reason is for me. It's for my growth and for my elevation in him. And that's what we all need to be doing as well. So what I want us to do when we're focusing on strengthening our faith is trusting instead of worrying, praying before reacting, replacing negative thoughts with God's promise, stepping outside of your comfort zone, and believing in what God has called you to become. That's what faith entails, needs in order to thrive, to live, and to be inside of you. And you can all do it if you just believe. So fear asks, what if it doesn't work? But faith says, what if it does? And that's what I want you to walk in. The what you can't see, you're still saying to yourself, but I believe it can. And that's it. it can be everything that I hoped it could be, supposed to be, and will be if I just have that faith. So, before time winds down, because I see I'm just talking up a storm, I want to get to the last thing, which I think is so important for us all to have, is gratitude. Being grateful. Gratitude changes what you see. And the scripture is, oh, give thanks to the Lord, for he is so good, for his mercy endureth forever. Now, how different would your life feel if you focus more on what you have than on what you don't have? I want you to ask yourself that question. I'm going to repeat it again. How different would your life feel if you focus more on what you have than on what you don't have? I think that if you focus more on what you have, you will feel so much more joy and happiness in your spirit. I feel you would be uplifted every day. I think that you would be inspired. I feel you will be fulfilled because you realize that regardless of what you don't have, you have so much more. As I mentioned, I wake up every morning, me just breathing a breath of fresh air, seeing the sunlight coming through my window, me opening up my eyes every morning. That's a blessing. That is something to be grateful for. You didn't have to be here. There's so many people that didn't make it, but yet you're still here. Be grateful for that. Regardless if you don't have what you want in that day, try to make something happen of that day regardless. Some of you don't have a job right now and you're looking. Some of you guys are looking for your mate, your perfect mate, your husband and your wife, and you haven't found them. Some of you starting businesses and it's just not working out the way you planned. Some of you want children and unfortunately it's not happening the way you wanted it. But regardless of those things you don't have, you still have life in your body. You still have the ability to make those things happen. If you just remember that by faith, it will happen in God's time. So what we do is be grateful for those things that we just have now, because if you steward those things properly, if you honor those things better, then you're opening yourself up to receive even more. So gratefulness is what we should be walking in every day. Gratitude isn't pretending life is perfect. Gratitude recognizes that even in difficult seasons, there is still something to be grateful for. And I mentioned that we're all going through something. There are some people that are hurting out there. There are people that are in need of comfort. And they are hurting and hoping for something to get better. But sometimes they lose sight on what they already have. I started to do that for a little while when I was going through grief years ago. That regardless of the fact that I still have my life, I still have my family, I still have my friends, I have my job, I had a beautiful life, I was still focused on what I didn't have and the people that were no longer here. I had to recalibrate my thinking and realize the blessing is that I could live my life now for those people that are no longer here. I could honor them in the way that I live my life every day. And that started to be my focus. So regardless of what I don't have, I have plenty. I have enough. I have more than enough when I look at the bigger picture. So let's walk in that gratitude, realizing and recognizing that even in those difficult times, that we should still be joyful in our hearts for the things that we do have. Gratitude, it really truly matters, and it changes our perspective. It changes how we look at things. It changes what things look like when they're looking bleak, when they're not looking their best, when they're looking challenging. If we look at what gratitude looks like, even in the midst of that, we will realize that it changes the trajectory of that, because now we can hope for something better and realize that what we have already, we should be grateful for. Gratitude changes relationships. It changes even our mental health. Don't you feel better when you're walking around in gratitude, when you're just thankful for everything? Doesn't that heaviness just sort of dissipate and disappears and just moves away from you? When you're walking in gratefulness and gratitude every day, you're just grateful for being, for having, for enjoying, for living, for experiencing the things that you were able to experience in your life. Gratitude makes you feel complete. because it allows you to see something bigger than your circumstances. Gratitude brings you peace. That's what it's bringing me. The understanding that regardless of what I see on the outside, that the happiness and the joy that I have on the inside is because I still have things to be grateful for. My daughter, my husband, my mom, my friends, you guys, my viewers, my followers, my business, our unity. I am grateful for those things because I know that God has such a big plan for my life that I can't squander it away by being angry and unhappy all the time, by not feeling, my best, or being disingenuous or feeling, put upon. I have to be grateful for those blessings because God did not have to give them to me. When we become grateful, we complain less. Think about that. We appreciate more and we love deeper. We notice the blessings that we once overlooked, and we now try to walk in that gratitude every single day. Every day, I think that we should write down 3 things that we are grateful for. And not because life is perfect, but because life is precious. We need to remember that our lives here on earth is precious. I don't ever say that we don't have enough time. I just say that time is too precious for us to waste it away. So be grateful for the time that you have here on this earth. Be grateful for the people that you still have in your life. Be grateful for the things that you still have available to you. Be grateful for the love that you're able to share with others. Be grateful that even in the midst of the things that you don't have, that you know that God has a bigger plan for you and that He's going to reveal it to you in His time. And that you're just hoping that it happens in your time, because I know we all think, when is He going to show up? When is He going to move? When is He going to? It's still being patient and allowing His time to happen when He's ready to show it to you. And sometimes we have to be ready, because honestly, sometimes He's not able to give us what we deserve, or not even what we deserve, but what we want, because of the fact that we're just not ready for it. And we're not ready for it because we're not grateful for the things that we already have. How are you going to get that brand new car when you're not even taking care of the small car that you have? How are you going to get a brand new house if you can't take care of the apartment that you have? How are you going to have more children or get a good husband or wife or any of those things if you don't know how to honor the relationships that you currently have? He's not going to give you more until you can handle the little, the few, the small. So be grateful for what you have, and move forward showing that gratefulness every single day. Every day, like I said, we have to thank God and our family and our friends for being in our lives, and even those strangers that are in the world, because I think that they teach us how it be to be a better people. I think we become whole when we realize that what we have to offer the world is what we're actually expecting the world to give us. But how dare we expect that from them if we're not moving in it first? So it is important that we love, that we have faith, and that we be gracious for the things that God has blessed us with. That is the only way that we're going to receive everything that He has in store for us. It's the only way that we're going to get along with people who don't look like us, people that are in our lives that are family members and friends who just don't treat us well. Even ourselves that don't care for who we are because we're not confident yet in who we are. We haven't owned who we are. It is important that in this season, no matter what you're going through and what is happening to you, that you walk in love, live by faith, and just live in gratitude so that you can be a happier, healthier person. So that you can share that with the rest of the world, so that they can give that to you, back to you tenfold. But more importantly, that we show God that we're honoring everything that He put in us. So I'd like to thank you for listening to this segment about what love, faith, and gratitude is and what it means to me. I want you to come along with me on this journey. Please follow me on Facebook and Instagram at Your Our Unity and join the year of love, faith, and gratitude. I am telling you, I know for a fact that it is going to make you a better person. Why? Because it's going to teach you how to love. It's going to teach you to have faith. And it's going to teach you how to be gracious and have gratitude in your heart by the daily things that you do, by what you put into your life every single day, by how you move, how you act, how you think, how you speak. It's going to teach you how to do those things, to fortify those things inside of you, so that this time next year, you're going to be your unity. And your unity is when you walk in love, faith, and gratitude. So, thank you so much. Now I want to move on to the Dare to Be You. And it is, dare to be you. Love with your whole heart. Walk by faith, even when you can't see the path ahead. Live with gratitude, recognizing that every day is a gift. When you choose love over hate, faith over fear, and gratitude over complaints, you don't just transform your own life, you inspire others to do the same. Dare to be you. A year of love, faith, and gratitude. And I hope that you guys join me on this journey. I think it is so important. As I mentioned, we're all going through something, man. We all are going through something, and we may not share it. We may not show it. I'll stand up here and sit up here with a smile on my face, but my heart is tender. It is so tender. I have my moments, but I prefer to show the world the joy of the love and faith and gratitude that I have inside of me, rather than the fear and the sadness and the depression and the grief that I'm carrying. I prefer to show you what I want to receive. So I want you to join me on this journey so that you can be also that person, a facilitator of those things. And I want to share, love teaches us how to treat one another. Faith teaches us how to trust through life's uncertainties. Gratitude teaches us how to recognize the blessings that surround us every single day. It's not a challenge to complete. It's a way of living that transforms our hearts, strengthens our communities, and reminds us that unity begins with each of us. Here at Your Our Unity, we believe that when our heart changes, a family can change. And when our families change, communities grow stronger. And when communities come together, we have the faith, love, and unity that we all deserve. So I'd like to thank you so much, guys, for tuning in to another fabulous episode of Your Our Unity. I want you to remember that peace and love is in the palm of our hands. So let's go out there and be some love, share some love, and just walk in love. We will see you in 2 weeks here on Your Our Unity, and I love you. Walk in love, faith, and gratitude. See you soon. Bye.